Hey my friends, it's Paul here. Tomorrow is... Hey my friends, it's Paul. Today is opening day of baseball, or the home opener. Hey my friends, today is the home opener for the Colorado Rockies, and baseball season is underway. In this blog post, I have linked to Ken Burns' Baseball, the amazing documentary, which is really super long, but in the first version of it, the first part of it, I should say, it goes through and talks to a lot of different writers and people who are famous in our society about why they love the game of baseball and why it's so important to them. So I thought that I would share with you why baseball is so important to me, and it's truly one of my favorite sports. I think that one of the main things that I love about baseball is the fact that if you just grab a couple of pieces of equipment, we can play it just the same way that the professionals play it, just the same way that Babe Ruth played it, the same way that Bill Mazeroski and Honus Wagner played it, the same way that Ted Williams played it, and all the way back to the 19th century. You need a bat and a glove and a ball and a couple of friends, and I can have the same feeling that those guys have had hitting a ball and making it to first base, or if I'm lucky, second, third, or maybe even all the way to home. I can have that feeling of exhilaration that is the same thing that the pros of today are enjoying. It's a sport that we can play, which is not necessarily like the game of football, which is one of the most popular games in America, of course, but we can't really have the experience that today's football players have, but we can have the experience that the baseball players have. And that's one of my favorite things, is just a little bit of open space and a couple of pieces of equipment, and we can really get out there and enjoy the game the way that it's always been enjoyed. Another thing that I really love about baseball is the fact that, just, besides maybe the food that the players eat, and hopefully they're not taking any substances, but besides, maybe a change in bats and a couple of pieces of padding that they may wear on their elbow or on their ankle, the game hasn't really changed that much since when it was started. The rules are very much the same. They have changed the structure of some of the parks, but really, it's still pitcher versus batter. The defenders always have to be on the ready, and when you get up there to bat, you can be a hero and have an individual contribution to the game. So it hasn't really changed all that much. It's still the same as it was for much of history. I really came back to baseball in the 90s. I was a big fan of the game, played all through my youth until I got to about high school, and then I stepped away from the game and didn't watch it and didn't pay any attention to it until I had a roommate that turned me back on to the game. He was a New York guy and enjoyed watching the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry, and he really brought me back into the game. And then I watched the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. And I remember I was in Colorado and I hadn't seen my father for a long, long time and was going to see him on a family vacation. And when I was little, my dad and I used to catch baseball all the time. I mean, he would throw grounder after grounder at me for hours and hours on end. And it's one of my favorite memories of childhood. And I had grown up and I was living in Colorado, on the radio and away from my family in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and when we were going to meet, I thought to myself, just like in the movie Field of Dreams, I just want to have a catch with my dad. So I took a couple of gloves and a baseball, and I remember throwing him the mitt, and we were out on the beach there together, just threw the ball back and forth, and the feeling of that ball hitting the leather and looking across and seeing my dad, that's another timeless thing about baseball that I love. I mean, I really love everything about the game. I love going to the ballpark and feeling the ambiance, and I'm super excited that the season is back underway. It's been a long time since my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, have had a winning season, but I'm hoping that former Colorado coach Clint Hurdle can really help them turn things around and bring the happiness of baseball back to Pittsburgh. Once very proud franchise, and we're still proud of our guys, but I'm excited to watch Derek Jeter come back after his injury. I'm excited to watch Troy Tulowitzki and the Colorado Rockies, and that's what I love about the game of baseball. What do you love about it? Why don't you leave a comment below? Thank you.